Hello everyone and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll continue with our introduction to strings. We finished our last lecture by looking at adjacent strings, and we said that if we have adjacent strings, they will be concatenated to make a single string. That's also true if the adjacent strings are also on a multiple line. This is a string, and if we continue this on a new line and say, let's say this is a string and it is a very long string, and continues on a new line. So this is a very long string. If we still run it, it will be, so in this case only the last part will be executed. We only see n continues on a new line. So if we have a very long string and if it continues, for writing purpose, usually you'll see codes written like this. Instead of writing this whole string on one line, you'll see it being broken down or written on multiple lines. This is for readability purpose, so this is more neat than writing all of this in one line. So in this case, we include the slash at the end of each sentence, each line. So this slash means it continues on a new line. Now if we run this, we see that the whole string is now concatenated, but that's how we write multiple lines. If we have a very long string, we add a slash at the end of each line. This basically means it continues on the next line. Good. Now I will introduce you to the print statement. So in the example above, if I have, this is a string and then this is another string on a new line. If I execute that, only the last statement is executed. This is another string on a new line. How about the first statement here? It's not executed. So in order to execute all statements, we use the print statement. So we say print, this is a string, and then we say print, this is another string on a new line. Now both of the statements will be executed. So that's the use of the print statement. So that will execute every statement that we write here. So print and then our string. Okay, let me show you. Earlier we looked at /n and I briefly mentioned /t. So this is for a new line and this is for a tab. It means tab. Let's see how we can do those. So I can say print, let's say this is a statement, and then let's say tab, and this is another statement. So if we run this, you see here this is a statement and then tab, and this is another statement. So /t means tab. I can also say let's use a tab which is /t and a new line /n. Anything after will be on a new line. So in this case we'll get, let's use a tab and then tab and a new line. So this statement, anything after will be on a new line. We'll see those. You see here, let's use a tab. Then we have a tab and a new line. We have a new line here, /n. So anything after that will be on a new line. We can also introduce another new line here. For instance, we can say /n, and that will be on another new line also. So that's how we can use tab and then new line. So /t for tab and /n for a new line. So this print statement, print is a statement in Python 2, whereas in Python 3, print is a function. So that's one key difference between Python 2 and Python 3. So if we want to execute a print function in Python 3, we'll have to enclose it in parentheses. So this is a string. So that's how we would print a string in Python 3. Okay, so this is how you would print a string in Python 3. So that's one key difference between Python 2 and 3 when it comes to printing. Great. So far we have seen how to create strings. Next, let's see how we can access elements in our string. For instance, what if I want to access this element in my string? How can we do that? Let's start by storing our string in variables. So we can store our strings in variables. Let's say string name, that will be our variable, and then let's say I'm here. So this will be my string, I'm here, and I'm storing my string in a variable called string underscore name. And we can store our string in any variable that we want. For instance, we can say ss string variable. We can use any variable that we want. Once we have that, once we save our strings in a variable, if we call our, for instance, variable ss, we get string variable. And if we call our variable string name, we get I am here. Okay. So in the example here, ss, we have string variable. What if I want to grab r, just the character r in my string ss? How can I do that? So we can use what is known as indexing. I can simply say ss and then indexing, r is at index 2. So if I say ss rectangular bracket and then 2, that will give me r. So this is how we can access elements in my string. We use indexing. Indexing starts from 0. So here s will be index 0, and then this will be index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The empty space will be 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and so on. So indexing starts with 0, and then we use rectangular brackets or braces for indexing. If I want to grab the empty space here, that will be at index what? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I say my string ss, my variable ss at index 6 will be an empty space. So this is how we can grab certain elements in a given string. And if we want to grab more than one element, let's say if I want to grab this var, how can I do it? For that we use what's known as index slicing. So we'll have to pass our index as a slice. That means from index this up to index this. So let's see that. So this is index 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. V is at index 7. So I want the elements from index 7 up to 8, 9. So R, this the second R is at index 9. So if I execute this, I will only get V and A. Let me show you. I'll only get V and A. You might wonder, why is not R included? So another thing about indexing is that the endpoint is not included. So index 7 to 9 means, in this case, so the starting point is included, 7 is included, and then 8 and 9 is not included. So if I want to grab R, I have to go to the next indexing number, which is 10. So this basically means grab elements at index 7, 8, and 9. So the last indexing number is not included. So if we execute this, we get, if we execute this, we get var. Great.